Hey, welcome back to another video. I know it's another Anime Crusaders video. It's really the only one of these anime tower defense into right now, so it's gonna be the one you're getting stuff on. This is the whole Dragon Ball update. I was gonna try out something new where I do little individual YouTube short unit showcases for an entire update. So it'll make more sense when the next update comes out. In between, like once I get a unit and like evolve them, I'm gonna showcase them like immediately as a YouTube short. Once I have everybody, I'll do a full video, which will be a lot more in depth than those little shorts are, as well as the units will actually have traits, all that stuff. I don't want to take too much time at the beginning here. If you're interested in horror games and stuff, horror games or me playing with other games with my friends, go check out the main channel. I'd really appreciate it. And let's get on with the video. Let's go through cosmetics. We got Cell. I think most of these cosmetics are just auras right now, which is fine. At least they actually have oh no, Trunks is actually really cool. Kind of spoiler warning. Unfortunately, I think he sucks. I think he's really bad. So we have that. They call him the what? A beverage of sorts. Does Phoenix have? Okay, no. I will show Phoenix off as well. Well, Goku doesn't have a cosmetic. Vegeta does not have a cosmetic. Android 21 does. Another aura. Okay. And that's everybody, right? Yeah. Or needs Trunks' cosmetic because it's actually really good. And I'm just gonna load straight in. I don't have everybody equipped, but I'm gonna break it down. These are the 2 physical units. Everybody else is magic. The other one, I'll show off all the magic units, and then I'm gonna show off Vegito. Part of me wants to make Vegito his own video, but I don't know. I think I'll just do a full unit showcase. I'm a little disappointed they did raids again. I really think this game needs some mode variety. I don't feel like it has longevity at the moment. So I'll max out my farms and then we'll get started. Alright, farms aren't quite maxed out yet, but I'm just gonna put Trunks down. It's close enough. Okay. Oh, I don't have unit VFX on. Actually, I've realized I don't have to go into that menu. I can just do it here. So his basic VFX is that. I forget what that move's called. I haven't watched Dragon Ball in a minute because there hasn't been Dragon Ball 2 watch in a minute, so don't blame me. He is 3 placement. I don't have a trait on him because I just genuinely don't think he's good. So he has Paradox Cut. If an enemy enters 40% of his range, he delays his next attack for 1 second and charges his blade, dealing 150% damage. This is a 20-second cooldown. And not terrible. Every 5 attacks, he does 200% damage. Also not terrible. Light of the Survivors. He gains 10% damage for every unit in range. Max 100%. His attacks ignore enemy shields. Like, it's weird that none of his passives are bad. But his max damage is very low. Even with the buff. Like, his placement damage is 2,000. And that's all. Evo. So now we have Burning Storm, which is a slightly larger circle. I don't know what that is. Might be that move that everybody copies from Piccolo. I will say the big thing is a lot of these buffs can end up stacking. Like, he can get lucky and get his 200% on his 150% damage attack, which will make it do a lot of damage, but that's very unlikely. And also pretty situational. I think all of these units are in his range. Yeah. So he's got a 60% damage boost. How high can I get it? Can I max it out? I think so. I believe that's maxed. Oh no. Trying not to get these other units too close. Okay, max is at 2.6 with idle up. I mean, it's like 50,000 DPS. It's not terrible. You could then put Mr. Satan down. buff him to like 200k. I don't think it's a terrible unit. He's actually not nice upgraded. He's pretty cheap, only costing like 40-ish thousand. Yeah, you see that he hit 2 buffs at once and he was able to do 2 million damage there. It's just the problem is the likelihood of that happening is just so low. Because now when he hits 200% attacks, he'll do 400k, then multiply that by 1.5, and you get... I don't know how he hit 2 million. That was weird. I think it's doing something odd with the multipliers, I think is what's happening. Regardless, I think maybe he's better than I thought he was. He is hybrid on upgrade 6. Pretty decent unit overall. Then we have Cell, who... Where can I put him where he'll hit earlier? There. Oh, I gotta sell Mr. Satan so I can see his... So, 12k damage on placement with Idle. He deals plus 50% damage against flying enemies. Great passive. Evolution, I think, is a waste, unfortunately. It's good. It's not interesting. Hold on, do your attack one more time. That's... I actually don't know what his base attack is. His cooldown jumps really high on this one because he goes full AoE. I believe this is perfect barrier. Him being a full AoE heal unit on these upgrades is crazy. I think there is argument to leave him on this upgrade and not go past it. The DPS is very solid on it. I'll do one more, because I mean 100k with Eclipse and then every 7.7 seconds, very solid with 3 placements. Crusader on him is obviously his best. That's kind of true for most units, unless they have a lot of placements. So Perfect Beam Barrage is a decently wide cone, with slightly better attack speed. I found his passives very boring. For being the secret unit from the raid, I wish he did just one more passive, I think. And he could have been a really interesting unit. 32,000 DPS, and then I actually never read off evolution, did I? Select a unit to absorb, converting its value into permanent power. For every 1 yen worth of unit absorbed, he gains 0.001% damage, max 50%, and 0.0005% range, cap up to 25%. So you need 50,000 yen to max it out. Which we will do. I actually don't think you're enough. I'm gonna have to do it more than once. I believe Kaido and Luffy upgrade 6 is enough. I don't know about anybody else. I used them a lot for it when I did the raids a decent bit with them. Like, I'll just go to there because any money that's over the cap gets refunded. So yeah. 56 range, roughly 300k damage with just Eclipse and Idle. You then put Mr. Satan down. Oh, so they made the prices on Mr. Satan and Aqua cheaper, so they're easier to max out. They only cost base price is 2,500 for upgrade instead of like 8,000 or something. So 500, almost 100,000 DPS with just Eclipse. I would say it makes him better than Trunks because Trunks' DPS is extremely inconsistent. I do want to max it out on the full AoE one as well, because I think there is total viability to leave him on this upgrade. How much do you cost to max? You are a little over 50k. It actually makes you perfect. Not funny. You're either perfect or you're not me. So yeah, 300k damage on full AoE, which makes him just such a strong heal unit. Plus he gets 37 range from the range boost. Very, very powerful. Despite the fact that his passives are kind of disappointing. You have to remember, you know, if you're bringing him in to deal with flying enemies, he does 50% more damage to them. On this one, you're doing like roughly 800k-ish. I don't know. Yeah, like 800k, roughly. On this one, you do like 450,000, 2 flyers. So let's back out. and I'll grab all the magic units and we'll go through them. I have used Vegito a little bit. The first thing I will say is do not worry about getting a good trait on both Goku and Vegeta. You only need a good trait on, you only need like Crusader on one of them because they do not take both traits. Which I think is fine. I imagine some people are a little disappointed about it though. It's just for balance reasons, right? I understand. Go run it back again. I'll get farms maxed and we'll go through the units. We'll start with Phoenix because he's the easiest to obtain. Android 21 is also really easy to obtain. In case you haven't figured it out yet and you're confused where to get her, she is just from story stage. I cleared her on hard once and got her. Super easy to obtain. Phoenix is from the guide quests. I do agree with what they said. Very good beginner unit on him. So if you're just starting out, great pick to go for. All right. So Phoenix is a summon unit. I think when he originally came out, it bugged and said he also had damage and summons, but he does not. No passives, but just on placement, Evoed, his summons do 13,000 damage. They do not take elementals, they don't count as magic, and they don't count as magic or fire. I have brought them into a daily challenge to test that before. So despite the fact he has these elements, this really only matters for buffing, I believe. It does not actually do anything for him. And honestly, I don't even know if buffs actually work on him. I will have to test that. I'll have to run another one of these where I bring Aqua in. I'll take Android 21 out, because she's easy to obtain, but I wouldn't use her. So yeah, summons do base 16,000 damage, and then each upgrade just increases damage. He is about 90k to max with idle up, which you're almost always going to have. And his summons eventually do a ton of damage. We're looking at almost 600k here without Crusader. He does have he has 2 placements, so Crusader is his best trait easily. I've only not gone for it because I'm holding rerolls for next update. They're doing JoJo Part 6, I think. They've shown Poochie, which is like, that's either a Crusader unit or it's gonna be like Aizen, where it's a double Evo secret. Regardless, it'll be a crazy unit. Yeah, that's Phoenix. Relatively simple. Very solid beginner unit, very easy to get. I think very strong. Can probably AFK stages. He can probably do that. I don't know though, his upgrades are kind of expensive. I'd have to test that more. Maybe with Crusader it's doable. Because if his base was 16k, you triple that into 48,000 damage. Roughly, so we'll sell him. Android 21 is almost like completely broken amazing. So Evil Dr. Simon, unit always has a Crusader trait. So I'd argue another good, if you can get through story, she's a great power boost. Because she has an automatic Crusader and she's very strong. She does not Evo either. And then you have Madness of Intelligence, which so she's magic type, but her attacks also deal exactly her damage as physical. So she's basically both, like Katakuri was. The only thing is you can't you can't use Mr. Satan to buff her damage stat because she doesn't actually do physical damage. You can only use Aqua for it. So she starts full AoE, which, if she stayed this way, she'd be like the best unit this update outside of Vegito. But you can get 60,000 damage, which again is actually 120,000 every 4.1 seconds. So just actually stupid strong. Back one more time, just a red pulse. Evil Spirit Ball is a decently sized AoE circle, which I believe brings her attack speed up instead of down, unfortunately. It's kind of like how Coyote works. Her DPS is effectively double whatever it displays over here. So it's not 32,000 DPS, it's 64,000. Now here, I think, is where this unit gets ruined. Evil Kamehameha is a line. It's a good damage increase. Her attack speed goes up again, and then it drops back down. These last two upgrades, which becomes hybrid here. Because line AoE is just really bad, but it's such a good increase to her DPS. And again, making her hybrid is super strong. Like, if you need a really strong unit, I think she is great. Because just her DPS being double of her displayed is crazy strong. She's a great challenge clearer because, again, she does both damage types. But I think for, like, really difficult stages, like the new raids, I don't know how... if you're doing, like, boss rush and traitless, I don't actually know how that works on this unit. I'll check that out once we show everybody else here. I want to see if it takes away her trait or not. This would be the only way to see her raw stats. So then we have Goku, who I have Radiant on, because that's his best trait for sure, because it's 4 placement. And there's no point in having double Crusader. Rivalry Ritual. I said that weird. When Vegeta is within the unit's range, Goku gains minus 20% cooldown. After image Assault. If an enemy enters Goku's range, he creates an after image at the base that deals 50% of his damage, then vanishes, which I think we can see that. Yeah, and they have infinite range, so they just attack wherever his range actually is. It's weird that they spawn at the base. I don't know the point of that, but I guess it just means that they can hit anywhere. Z-Soul Collector. Enemies killed within his range have a 10% chance to drop a key orb. For each key orb, Goku gains 2.5% damage, cap of 50%. Another very good hill unit we've got here, and then we have Fusion, which I'll read once we go over Vegeta. That's Super this was just regular Kamehameha, I think. Oh no, that's not even. There's Super Kamehameha, which is a cone. Watch the animation one more time. His attack speed is generally pretty decent, I think, until upgrade 6. Yeah, where it jumps up to 8.1 with Super Spirit Bomb. Which is a large stat animation's sick. That looks really good. He unlocks Fusion on final upgrade. Yeah, that is, hold on, let Goku stack up a little bit. Or 50% shouldn't take too long to stack. I'll pause while I wait for it. Okay. So he's maxed out with... Did he? Thought he did. But as I unpause, his damage went off again, so I don't know. You have one more attack. The thing that's important to remember is if you have him like set spawn trapping like this, and you can, I remember you have 4 of them. Anytime a unit enters his range, a Goku will spawn at base that attacks for 50% of the damage. That is on a 10-second cooldown, so it's not, I wouldn't calculate it into his DPS, but it is additional damage he gets. It does, that is very, very good. And since it's map-wide, even when enemies leave his range, these Gokus will attack whoever is up front. So he can effectively attack the whole map. He can kind of do that just with Radiant. He has an insane amount of range on max. Hold on, let me sell one of these ones I put down. 44 range is kind of nuts. Let's max out Vegeta now. So Vegeta's passives are disappointing, personally. When Goku's within this unit's range, Vegeta gains a 50% crit chance. Then Majin Mark, you're never using this. I'm gonna be so never. Costs 5,000 yen to activate. After activation, Vegeta embraces the darkness, dealing plus 50% damage on its next attack. Like I think maybe if you're going for like high infinite leaderboard, I could see it. It could maybe have use in leaderboard itself, where you pop that to get extra damage or extra kills. I don't really think so. But I do think he's a strong unit despite his passives being kind of eh. You need a Vegeta here so that they're in range of him. So there's the 50% crit chance, which is great. You have Final Flash. There's a cone. They did a very good job on the animations this update. I feel like last update they kind of messed it up with the bleach stuff, but this update feels a lot better. So it gets Majin Mark upgrade 5 apparently. And then we have Final Explosion, which is exactly what you think it is. A multi-hit giant AoE circle. With Crusader, it's 700k damage every 8.2 seconds. It's not the highest DPS, but also it's full AoE. And plus multi-hit plus crit, 50% crit means he does that pretty often. And we can fuse. Fusing spawns a 5 million health boss that you have to defeat before they fuse. They should be able to take care of it. I'd be shocked. If it's an issue, I'll put down Android 21 because they don't have to kill it. The boss just has to die. So now we have Vegito. I thought I still played. Okay, I'll have to redo that. Give me a second. Can't believe I actually sold the Vegito. That was really dumb. But luckily, when you sell him, it does give you the placements for back. The thing about having Vegeta with Crusader on it means I can only actually make one Vegito because it does count as a Vegeta and a Goku unit slot. But that is perfectly fine. So, his passives, he's got a few. You call that control. Vegito is immune to stun. As far as I'm aware, there's nothing that stuns units at the moment. I could be wrong, and I'm not remembering like a mode that does it, but I don't think that's a thing. Whenever an enemy tries to stun Vegito, he instantly applies stun to all enemies in range for 5 seconds. Easygoing arrogance. Every 20 seconds, Vegito's next attack deals a plus 100% damage and applies 99% slow to enemies for 4 seconds. If an explosion enemy dies from this attack, which I don't think exists yet, Vegito's next attack deals plus 50% damage. Mocking momentum. Upon hitting the same enemy 3 times, Vegito gains Spirit Sword for 20 seconds, which gives him minus 20% cooldown. And then, this is the gap between us. He deals plus 50% damage to enemies whose current health is below 5 times his damage, which is insane. The thing to keep in mind is his full cost is the full cost of a Goku and a Vegeta plus 120,000. He is extremely expensive. So I don't know how viable he is in shorter modes, but also I think just unlocking Vegito, not even upgrading him, is crazy. He's got good range, good attack speed, good damage. His basic attack is just, yeah. You have Big Bang Cannon, larger AoE circle, and I think it's just the beam. Oh no, it's that. Solid. Is that's single hit, it looks like. It is. Okay. Final Kamehameha. He transforms into Super Vegito. This does not come with any passives. He just transforms, like, visually, which is fine. He does over 1 million damage every 3.9 seconds with crazy visual effect. I mean, look at that. It's multi-hit, as you can see. And then Final Slash for 41,000. Huge. That's extremely disappointing for how large that AoE is. 1.75 million damage every 4.9 seconds. Gives him 355,000 DPS. And this is entirely unbuffed. I'm gonna have to run another infinite. I'll run a couple of other things. I want to like get through everything. I got some ideas. But yeah, no, he with all these passives, apply slow, double his damage. He's not doing 355,000 DPS because until the enemies have, let me think, 1 million times 5, 5 million, 775 times 5 would be 75, 125, 200, 275. So until they have 8.5 million HP, he does a bonus 50% damage. Which is bonkers. Let's back out. I'm gonna go check out the thing with Android 21 to see if running something traitless takes away her Crusader, or if the game can't, because that's like baked into her kit. I think the quickest would be this, right? If this works this way, if you still want Aizen and she doesn't lose Crusader, I would use her. I know she doesn't. Oh no, it does. That is good to know. You can't use her to cheat trait disabled modes. I thought of that. And now I want to get a maxed buffed Vegito, so we'll come back in just a second. I realized before I show Vegito max buffed, I should probably show these two units max buffed. So with just Kaido buff, Vegeta does break 1,000,000 damage, which puts him in a pretty good spot as a full AoE unit. Goku jumps up to close to 200k, including with his base 50% damage buff, which I actually think is not actually maxed out yet. Then we have Aqua. Thank God she's cheaper. It makes these a little easier to do. He jumps up to almost 2 million, and Goku jumps up to almost 400k. It makes them at max buffs very strong. But, I mean, really only infinite viable when you're running only Lloyd and Idol. We'll pop Fusion. I don't have the money to max upgrade a Vegito, but we can see how much just raw damage he does from upgrade to upgrade. I kind of want to get better stats on Vegeta since he's the one that is taking the stats from. So yeah, 2.6 million just from buffs, and then super strong. You know what I didn't mention? He is both water and light. He takes on their sub-typing attributes. For the most part, I don't think that's relevant. This game does not use the elemental advantages and disadvantages enough for that to matter. 3 million, 3.4, 3.85, 4.7, finally 5.25 million damage. I think he is effectively a Crusader unit. Maybe he is better than a Crusader unit. I want to do a video comparing all of these like top tier units that they've done, like comparing the Crusaders to Super Vegito to Aizen, Final. I might do that at some point because the problem is I don't have Crusader on Gilgamesh, and I think he makes that list as well. But I don't know if anymore. I feel like he's outclassed. So yeah, when his double damage procs, he does 10 million damage. Plus 99% slows for 4 seconds. The funny thing about mocking momentum is that it just makes, like, when you get high rounds where he's not one-shotting things, it just makes him stronger. Actually, he's not even doing, my goodness, he's not doing 5 million damage. He's doing 7.5 million damage. As long as the enemy doesn't have 25 million HP. This unit is insane with max buffs. He actually hits 1,000,000 DPS. Is he the first unit to do so? And when he hits 10 million damage, he jumps to 2 million DPS. Yeah, I would say get Crusader on Vegeta. I mean, I guess the problem is you probably will use Goku as even if you're not going for Vegeta, you'll use Goku more as a unit. So maybe go for Crusader on Goku, because even though he's 4 placement, it's probably still good on him. Crusader is just that strong. I think that's kind of up to preference. Cell is another good contender for Crusader. Being a Hill and AoE at upgrade 3, it would make him an easy unit to clear stages with. Did anybody have a cutscene? I don't think so. I like this update. The raids were a little grindy, so this video didn't come out super timely. But this is how the raids work in this game. I really hope that with raids at some point they increase how much you get, because the fact that at the quickest I could get raids done, I believe it was 6 minutes, and it required Vegito to do that. Yes, I could clear them roughly 6 minutes. You get 14 to 20 tokens per run. You need 200 per Evo item. And you basically have to get the Dragon Balls to do enough damage. I felt like I didn't need all of them, but I got them anyway. So, you know, let's say I get lucky and I hit 20 every time. that's still an hour to get one evo item. So a total of 4 hours at max efficiency. Which means you're actually taking longer than that to get all of these. Because you also have to clear the other 5 stages. Plus, buy the Dragon Balls, which cost 20 each. Which is, that literally adds another hour. I wouldn't even mind if it's like, if you use units from the update. You get they get a damage boost and they give you a drop rate boost. Not a huge one, but 20% per unit, cap of 100%, Make it a little better. I don't know, that's my thoughts. I think if they did a poll asking if they wanted to do, if we should, wow, that was a bad stutter. If they should do more card modes, it was voted yes, and I'm not happy about that. I could be, though, if they make the cards more interesting. I haven't uploaded a video on the game, and I won't because I don't play it anymore, because that game is way too grindy. But Universal Tower Defense, I think their card mode is super interesting and unique, because there's so many more options. There's so much, cards aren't just positive or negative plus reward boost. There was more to it. And I think the card modes can be interesting if you go and individualize how the cards work. But yeah, that's all for this update. Let me know what you thought of it down in the comments below. I'll make sure to read through those. And if you enjoyed the video, feel free to please leave a like, subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, go check out the main channel if you want. I will be soon after this comes out. I should be uploading the final part of my routine playthrough. So if you're into horror games and want to watch that, all of those episodes should be out. I've got some other footage I got to get through. Yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.